2, and 1. Hey, what is up, everybody? Rich Hoppy here, live with Hannah Roberts. And I think Nate might have dropped in on the third screen there for a second. Nate is actually going to join us after this live interview because Hannah and I will not be watching the comments. We're just going to have a little conversation here and see what's going on. Anyways, what is going on, Hannah? What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. Just hanging out, chilling, riding, having some fun on our downtime.
Yeah, no doubt. Been watching the social media stuff, and yeah, it looks like you're at least you're getting some riding in. I think a lot of people maybe a touch jealous of that, but yeah, it's good to see that you're getting riding in, and your levels are still, they're not steady. They're definitely moving up the old chart there, so that's pretty rad to see. So
thank you.
And so where are you at exactly now? What city and state?
I am in Fuquay, North Carolina right now. So yeah.
And a regular at which skate park?
Daniel Dare's Action Sports Complex.
Right on. Well, that's good. And if you ever have heard of or seen Daniel Dare's Action Sports Complex, a lot of high caliber riders go through there. So it's good that you're there kind of in the mecca of training in the BMX world right now. So it's good that you get a lot of, I always tell people that, when you ride with people that are way better than you, you instantly get better as well. You may not ever reach the level that you're riding with, but you're still going to get better. So that's why you're still, like I said, kind of notching the thing up a little bit, because you're surrounding yourself with good people, and you're doing things that are fun and things that you enjoy, which is, ride your bike and ripping on a level that's pretty outstanding. I'm so excited to see, like, when contests and all that stuff comes back to whatever earth we've traveled to, so that I can watch you. I've only done one competition myself this year, so yeah, and I do a lot of BMX shows, but we'll get into that kind of stuff later. I kind of want to go back in time originally, let people know a little bit about you. You're 18 years of age, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
Freshly an adult.
Yes, sir.
So you grew up in Buchanan, Michigan, and what's Buchanan, Michigan known for?
We're known for Redbud. We're known for motocross and all that, so it's pretty cool. Action sports is a big thing there. It's pretty fun. Yes,
it is. And for the Redbud's a massive yearly motocross race they have up there. It's a national that they have, and it attracts a ton of people. But the town of Buchanan itself, what's the population up there?
I think it's about like 5,000 or so.
Yeah, it's a little town. If you're looking down at your cell phone, you might miss it on the way by. But you guys got a nice place up there, and I'm sure childhood was cool up there because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people live in cities and stuff now, so it was probably a little bit different than most people had. You know what I mean? How was it growing up out there in the sticks?
It was fun. I lived in town for the first 8 years, and then we moved out to the country, and we got to do a little bit more, had more property, and just had heaps of fun. That's all life is.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, I'm sure. Your parents definitely. I've hung out with them quite a bit, and they definitely know how to have a good time. And I've even had some decent times on that new property that they're on there when you turned 8, which was 10 years ago. So they've been out there for 10 years now. Yeah, it's a good place to go shoot guns and ride 4-wheelers and burn things and stay up late and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yes,
thanks Rick and Betty for providing that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have stayed there too over the years. So yeah, a lot of people have stayed there. So that's good. Yeah, your parents have always rocked, and all of your siblings have always been there for you and helped push you, and it's been a pretty rad thing. So the bonus thing is you got a pretty radical family, so that always helps when you're trying to do something that may seem unusual to most.
Yeah.
So as we move down the map, we're going to go into South Bend, Indiana, because when you were 8 years of age, that's where you started riding, if I recall correctly.
I started riding technically in Muncie until the skate
Oh,
park, shut.
Solution, yep.
Yeah, and then they started building the park in 2010 or 2011, and that's when I started going to South Bend a lot. So.
Yeah, and that's where actually I met you, was at South Bend, and then you also had another kind of outdoor park, Michigan City, I believe.
Yep.
And that was around. So that's kind of where you rode in the summer. It was the Michigan City Park, and then you rode the kitchen primarily in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you were 8 too, that had to be pretty wild, because back at that time, kind of like where you are now, like all of the pros were coming into South Bend, Indiana from all over the planet. So that couldn't have hurt you.
No, and everybody that came through was super nice, super helpful, and made me really fall in love with the sport with all that support coming in from people that I didn't know. So.
Yeah, very true. I try to tell parents this all the time. If you keep telling your kid he can't do it or not going to do it, the chances of him doing it or her doing it are pretty slim. And I constantly, owning my own skate park, I'm teaching kids how to do things on a regular basis, and you cannot get them to do things by telling them they can't do something. It just doesn't work. You've got to encourage them. It may not be something that you agree with or whatever, but at least if they have some passion for something, and show them some progress and tell them they can do it, because they really can. I mean, anyone can do anything they really want to, and the more people we can get to understand that, I think the better times people have with their own lives, because why put somebody down when you can pick them up and help them reach their goal. And you've had so much of that. Like, I feel like you've gotten like a Nintendo power boost of love to push you on that level where you're at. What do you think of that?
No, it's so true. My family was pretty supportive, driving me to the skate park until I got my license, and my dad taking me everywhere for contests through the United States and stuff when I was younger, and even traveling with me a little bit when I was older. My mom flying out to China. Like, the support that I've had from my family is endless, and obviously with all the pros, every contest I get to hear their support, hear their words of encouragement before I ride, and it just truly means a lot. So.
Yeah, it does, and it means a lot more than people really get, because it builds that thing inside all of us, that I like to call, there's comfort, there's courage, and then there is also confidence. Those three things, positivity brings out of people, and in the vice versa world, if you were to tell someone, you can't, you won't, there's no way, then it's really hard for somebody, especially if it's your father or your mother telling you that. I mean, those words are very powerful to a child. So, uh, you know, keep in mind that your child can be anything they want to, because Roberts is still someone's child, Rick and Betty, and she's doing anything she wants to, and she was encouraged to. So, and it takes a lot to get to the level that you're at now. When you kind of retrospect back through all, it's really only been 10 years. It's kind of like when your BMX career started, was like 10 years ago, and wow, has it been a pretty crazy story, and a full speed ride. One of the first things that I can remember outside of the kitchen, is when you came to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we did a box jump show it was a makers, like a inventors fair that was going on. And yeah, we had like a whole posse of everybody there, and you were stoked as all can be, man. What was your memory of that? How did that play out for you?
I think it was my first show, and yeah, we got there super early, and we just rode all day. We had a lot of fun with the crowd and people, the cheering. And then I think that day I also learned how to weld, and we had that welding stand behind us, and I learned how to weld. I took home so many things, and it was just a fun day with all the homies, and a cool experience, really.
Yeah, and that was kind of like the first time that you had to sort of perform under pressure, and you did very well. And from there, you and I have had kind of like a box jump show, like high five career. We've done one at your high school. We've done one, or at not your high school, but your middle school.
Yeah.
And then we've done multiple ones here in Fort Wayne, and then kind of random cities scattered around Michigan and Indiana. Those that don't know, it's called Michiana. So yeah,
Yeah.
we've had some fun, and yeah, like you even drove by one with that we did with Bill Nitschke, the Wonder Wheels BMX team. You and little DJ swarmed and hung out for the day, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think he saved the day in some way. I think he brought my helmet or something stupid that I left up there.
Your bicycle. You left your
Oh, it was
bicycle.
my whole bicycle.
Yeah.
Like I said, something stupid. Yes, I left my entire bicycle up there, and yeah, you saved the day so I could actually do a show. So that was pretty sick, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Have you or are you doing any shows nowadays? Well, outside of the COVID garbage, before that?
I've been asked to do shows. I haven't been able to with the Olympics and training for that and traveling. But I'm hoping 2022 I'm able to do some shows with some people who have hit me up and just ride for the kids and show what BMX is to people who don't really know.
Yep, and that's really what show riding is about, is kind of infecting that one mind with BMX, kind of like the people that are trying to sell you the religion do. But we do it a little more subtly. We do it with radical stunts, not slipping papers.
Yeah, no.
So let's go back then, because we're still kind of in the era, like contest wise. What are your first memories of contests, and kind of take us through that over the years to where you're at, right now.
So my first contest I know was at Muncie. I did pretty well. I rode against the guys in a beginner class, and I just fell in love with the feeling of competing, the feeling of always wanting to do better and knowing that I could do more, and seeing where everybody else was at. And then I started doing a lot of local contests, the kitchen, Fort Wayne, like all these little things. And then my dad started driving me down to North Carolina and Georgia to hit up the Trans Jam series. I did pretty well at those. And then 2014, I went out of the country for the first time to Toronto. I got second in the pro class there. And then, from there, that's when I really knew that I wanted to do this forever. It was just, the feeling, I was riding against the pros, the other pro girls at the time, Angie and Paris and the girls that I looked up to the most. And, yeah, it was just an insane feeling to ride against them, to do well against them. And yeah, it was just a huge thing. 2016, I went overseas for the first time. I went to Simple Session and Feast, and I won Feast. And then that year it picked up. And then 2017 got busier with Feast and Vans. And I was doing all these other series and trying to stay in as many local contests as possible. But,
Yeah, I know. You got big time. We know. Which is good, because all that power that everybody in the sport, we're all pushing for that, because like I told your dad the first day I met you, is like you definitely have you have a natural talent for riding a BMX bike. I've seen an ungodly amount of people ride BMX bikes, females and males all across the board, racing, freestyle, whatever. And yeah, I could tell right away that you had less fear, or you had more something, but you were just a little kid. So I thought, well, maybe it'll wear off, but no, it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. So 10 years worth of growing, and looking back at that little 8-year-old girl to now, like, holy crap, what is going on?
It's been a good decade.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride for you, because you in the last decade, most people right now they're your age at least, are thinking about going to college maybe, or just getting out of high school, maybe trying to get a job, trying to figure out life at all. And you've literally lived like a grown-up's life as a kid, in a sense. You barely went to school. You did a lot of your homework away from school, well, because you're traveling so much, but you got the life that you were pushing for, and that's the kind of thing that I think people don't understand, how much of a sacrifice you have to give on a lot of things that normal people that say they're normal, the day-to-day people take for granted. You don't have like a normal life, a 9-to-5 type life. So I think people are intrigued by that, but yet they also think that you just kind of landed there without without doing anything. So I mean, what would you say to those people? Like, what about having that type of drive?
Um, it took a lot of work, and every day I just made it about accomplishing my dream, hitting my goal, and I have been, obviously, from a young age. I've had to do the social media stuff right, and you had to worry about who sees what and what you post and everything. So for mindset wise, I had to mature young, and then obviously missing a lot of high school. I didn't get to go to like proms or homecomings or anything like that, but for me, it was worth it. I'm living the life that I've wanted to live, and this is what I dreamed about. This is what I wanted from a young age. From the second that I knew that BMX was going to be my career, this is everything that I could imagine. So putting in the work and making everything about BMX wasn't a hard choice for me. But yeah, it's definitely it's a lot more that goes into it than people see. There's a lot of behind the stuff scene that pros don't post, or
Hmm.
riders don't show all the emails, all the sponsorships, all the political stuff that we have to deal with, and drug testing and all that. Like, a lot of people don't get it, a lot of people don't see it, and they just see us hanging out and living every day like it's summer, which at some points it is, and everything. But I mean, I guess even traveling, I love to travel. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I definitely don't take it for granted. But this is the longest I've been home. I've been home for, I think, 4 months. I've been in the States for 4 consecutive months, and it's the longest that I've been in the States in a row in the last, like, I don't know, 3 years. So it's definitely new, and it's weird, but I can't take it for granted. I really really enjoy being able to relax and not worrying about packing for the next trip, or competing in the next contest. So
Yeah, and that that's something you can't really describe in words, because you've put 10 years of your life into building your own life, and like, just saying that, building your own life, a lot of people don't quite understand what that means, but BMX kind of teaches you that if you want something, you put your mind to it, and then and I'm talking about a trick. If there's a certain trick that you really want, doesn't matter what it is, you will make that happen in your life, and it becomes a reality. And that trick, now you can grab it and you throw it in your big old 50-gallon barrel of tricks, and it stays there. When you want it, you pull it out and you do it. And that's why it's called a trick, because to a lot of people it doesn't look possible that you just did that, but they don't realize that you've got fake teeth, and you can't when you get up at night, you limp and run into walls and things, and it took a lot of abuse in that case, and a lot of times I translate that to you've got, in the non-BMX world, people will mentally abuse themselves over things, and put themselves in a negative state, and just glare at one topic and just get all stirred up. And if they took that same energy, put it towards something that they love doing, and a lot of people need to go back to childhood and figure out what they actually love doing. I think they've forgotten what they love doing. So maybe go back and figure out what you love, and try to do more of that and less of whatever else you're doing. You know what I'm
yeah, of course.
saying? Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask you, I've got a little note. Normally I don't do notes, but I did this interview with you. We did this interview at the Fort Wayne Indoor Skate Park, and it happened to be a rain day, and there was 10,000 skateboards in there, and you couldn't hear the entire interview. It sucked. But that was the day you came and met my son, Anthony, and now he's like supersized.
So big, he's
And
so cute though. So
yeah,
cute.
prior to going live, we had him on here, and they did a virtual high five. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, little Anthony.
But yeah, he's probably double the size he was the last time that you were in town. We went ice skating and watched DJ crash 10,000 times.
And I was the only one that didn't fall that day. It's cool.
Yeah, dude, that sucked. I did fall. I think I fell twice, but it was very funny.
It,
The whole day was very funny. I got to ride with DJ a couple, up in the kitchen right before it closed, and you were up there for that last event as well. The last day, I think you were up there, and that looked like a good time from social media. We had a good time. DJ wore me out. I tried to do a 540 up the step up for some reason. I don't know what was going on, but DJ always gets me to do stupid things. How was your guys' session? It looked like, a ton of people there.
I went for the entire weekend, so I was there Friday through Sunday, and there's just heaps of people, and I just got to talk to a bunch of kids and even a bunch of adults and some old riding friends, and it's just so crazy. We all came together. We had a really good session. Yeah, Sunday I ended up hurting my foot on Saturday night, but Sunday I just spent the whole day in the foam pit, just sending whatever anybody told me to do. So we were trying double flares and double flips and cash rolls and the whole thing. So it was fun. It was a really good vibe. I really enjoyed my time there.
Was Adam Strebe there that night? I heard he was up there that weekend.
Yeah, he went Saturday. He seen me land my first bar hand plant before I destroyed my foot, and then we talked for a bit, and then I had to leave. My leg was so sore, but yeah, he was there. He's awesome to talk to.
Dude, it's so rad. Yeah, I saw him at the local BMX track. I've been helping out up at the Fort Wayne BMX. Those guys are doing cool things. Racing BMX too. I did a lot of that when I was a kid, and I think it's a really good thing to get into if you want to cross train. If you really want to learn what it's like to ride BMX, try racing it a few times, because it'll really let you know what time it is every now and then. So check out Racing BMX, and there's tracks all over the country. They're actually racing right now as well. I've been helping out announce here locally, so check that out. I don't know, have you ever raced before, Hannah?
I haven't raced in an actual race, I guess, but
I've been raced around the neighborhood or something.
No, I've been to the pump track, and I've raced with a few friends, but man, I got beat. It is so different.
Yeah, imagine doing it with 8 people, and you basically go full speed as fast as you can for 4 straightaways, and just trying to go over things that are, kind of ridiculous to go over at full speed. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's like. It's kind of a terrorizing 40 seconds on a BMX bike, to be honest with you, but it really gets the adrenaline going. So when you're all in there, you're all in.
Yeah, there's no turning back.
No, there's not. All right, so let's see here. Who are your riding buddies, or who you riding with nowadays? And are you able to ride with? Is Daniel Durs open? Kind of tell us what your riding situation is. I know that you've got different rules, being an Olympian. So you kind of fill us in on how all that works and what's going on right now with that.
So Daniel's is still not open to the public. So it's just Marin Rentez from Croatia, Daniel, Nikita, and then Justin Dowell and I right now. We just ride every morning and have a good time while we can, and we just enjoy each other's company. We were riding with Isaac Venn from England and Brandon Lupos and Daniel Wiedemeyer, but they all went back to their respective countries and just see their family and to hang out for a bit while we have downtime. So yeah, right now it's just the 5 of us, and we're just hanging out. We still are pretty restricted, I guess. Not as restricted as what we were, but we still have to be careful still in self quarantine. We either hang out with each other, we don't hang out with anybody else, and we don't go inside grocery stores, don't go inside gas stations. We pay at the pump, and yeah, it's just safety precautions, make sure we're all safe and take everybody's health into consideration with whatever's going on right now. So
well, that's good, and there isn't anything wrong with that at all. You're doing, like I said, you've been training for this. They canceled the freaking Olympics on you, so I mean, now you've got to, you already went through the whole preparation of okay, and then it should have been any time now, a couple weeks from now, and you're not going. How does that play on your brain? How does that work?
Going into Olympic preparation, and there was a lot, that we were trying to get set for, trying to get mentally prepared for, and obviously physically prepared. We had parts of our riding planned out, so we'd peak in July, right when they would start. So but with them being pushed back another year, it's mentally so hard to stay motivated. There's obviously no contest going on right now for us, and we are sitting at home, we're not traveling, so everything's like new and weird for us. But you know, you just got to keep finding the enjoyment of riding and just keep loving what you do. But yeah, I mean, I think I struggled mentally with the whole Olympic postponement. The first month, I think it was announced in late March, so all of April I struggled hard with, you know, finding motivation to want to keep riding every day and to keep progressing. So but you know, I have that good group of people around me, and you know, most of us are hopefuls for the Olympics, so we're all going through the same thing, and it's easy to talk to them about it, and you know, we work through it. And there's days where you don't want to ride, and we you know, finally can take those off and, you know, relax and get in a better position for the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on the weirdness of, you know, I've been doing BMX shows since I was 14 years old. I'm 46 years old now, and I still probably average 20 shows a year when I'm trying not to do shows. I still do at least 20 shows a year. It seems like, and I've done, I don't think I did a single show this whole year. I did one BMX contest, and yeah, I'm just kind of missing all of it. You know, I'm really missing. You know, I haven't really traveled like you. Normally, I'm traveling around and doing shows, and you know, going on these little adventures. You know what I mean? Where you get to go and whatever, you know, happens kind of happens. We have some fun, and you know, have some kids maybe get enlightened and pick up a bicycle, even if they just learn how to ride a bike. You know, that's a positive thing in our direction. So it is super weird. You know, luckily for you, I was going to ask you. There's two guys that I wanted to ask you about. One guy is Daniel Deers. I know that he's been a major influence. You know, what's it really like when you guys are riding, kind of pushing each other? How does he, you know, what makes it unique about him that kind of drives you, if you will?
You know, Daniel's been around for years. I think he's been riding longer than I've been alive, and he's been, you know, traveling. He's really decorated, and yeah, he's just a hands down good guy. And you know, he sees, like, if I'm riding and I'm doing stuff in the foam, he sees either the mistakes that I make, or he sees that it's ready to go to resi, and he'll, you know, either talk me through my mistakes and try to help me, or he'll, you know, tell me to go to resi, and even like tricks that I know that I could do, but I hesitate. You know, we make little deals. He's like, okay, if you don't do it next go, like, you have to donate $100 to the park. I'm like, dang it. And, you know, I end up either sending it or I end up donating. And, you know, that's a good motivation. It's always fun with him. And, you know, we have serious sessions, and there's times where we both just want to progress and we want to focus. And then, you know, other days we're just like, foam pit session, who can send the most bangers, and that's kind of how it goes, and that's how I've been progressing. So yeah, I've been living in North Carolina, riding with him for a year now, and honestly, you know, looking back on my riding before I came here, before riding with him every day, it's incomparable. I mean, I really owe a lot of my success over the last, you know, year to him, and you know, letting me ride his park every day, letting me join their private sessions, and giving me all the tips that he can. He's been a big help.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. You know, Daniel has been he's had a huge impact on the sport. You know, ever since he made it over here. I recall, you know, I think it was Dew Tour when he first made his presence known, and he definitely came in swinging huge bats, you know, and knocking a lot of people down. So that was pretty rad, and he had that kind of attitude. I ran into him a couple times over the years at some events, and yeah, he kind of, you know, would crack on guys like, you know, hey, quit doing tricks, trying to do that trick. That's for real men. You know, he would say stuff like that to people, and I would always get a kick out of that. So yeah, I mean, he's very lighthearted, but yet he's also very intelligent and a very, you know, supreme level of understanding when it comes to riding a BMX bike, for sure. So Daniel, and then the other guy, of course, is Mr. Ryan Nyquist. So you've been, you know, those two guys alone to be able to clock some time with would advance anyone's career dramatically. So, in comparison to Daniel, I know Daniel, they're two different people, of course, but Ryan is also your coach in the Olympic team, and I'm sure a few other things. So, just tell us how Ryan's kind of impacted your riding and your overall your life, I guess, overall.
Ryan, obviously he's the USA coach now, and yeah, he's always there at contests when I need him. If it's 11 o'clock at night and I just thought of a run, I could text him, and we'll meet in the lobby and we'll talk about my run, and he'll help me correct it. And yeah, he's always a phone call away. He's always like there to give advice, and he just wants the best for you no matter what, even off the bike. So Ryan being there, the last year, I think he started being a coach officially in 2019 at the beginning of the season, and just having him there and having him be able to give me advice where I need it when I need it has been huge. And even now during not traveling, he knows the pressures or the stresses and the depression time as well, because he's been doing it for years and years and years. But
eons.
Yeah, he's been doing it. He's been around for a while, but he'll shoot me a text every so often. He'll see how my riding's doing, see how I'm feeling, and if I need to talk, I know I could always call him, and he's right there. He's actually, I think, maybe 2.5 hours away. So if I wanted to go down, and when this is over, when we're allowed to go out a little bit, I could just drive down and have a session with him, stay at his house, and hang out. And yeah, without his support and his encouragement and his advice, it had been a hard season. So I'm grateful for Ryan and everything that he's been able to do for me.
That's sick. And like you said, he's been around since the Stone Age. He's in the 40+ club and still absolutely raging, just insanely raging. Just I always enjoy watching him ride no matter what, at any point in time. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty sick that you've got those two dudes, here recently amongst a whole pile of not just dudes but people. Like I said earlier, that you've been able to kind of be around and see how they do things, and thus kind of maybe change your view on certain things as far as riding bikes goes, and maybe some other odd things. I'm sure you've had some weird experiences with some random idiots out there. I know that I can't seem to go anywhere without running into them.
Yeah, we got some stories.
Every time. But yeah, that's for a different podcast. I think that's for the Bill and Rich Oddcast broadcast.
Yeah. Talk about it later.
All right. So we talked about the Olympics that were supposed to happen this year. Now, what are your thoughts? What in your mind has changed for 2021?
Looking back at it at the beginning of the year, I was so focused on the Olympics, so focused on doing well, that I kind of lost sight and why I fell in love with the sport. So having this time and having it pushed back, I figured out my love and figured out why I started riding in the first place, and why I started wanting to be a professional. And so going into 2021, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with my friends, and I know, like, then there's only 9 women and 9 men that go. So luckily I'm close with all the pros, and just spending a few weeks in Tokyo with my friends at the Olympics is going to be like my main goal. Obviously I want to do well and want to be able to represent my country, my family, and everything the best I can, but overall having a good time and not necessarily putting that much pressure on myself as I was. That's kind of how I'm trying to go about it, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool, because the Olympic world and the BMX world are definitely a very vast. There's a big sea in between the two,
Yeah.
and it's kind of a culture shock to a lot of BMX people to even think about that type of transition, and it's literally totally two different planets, kind of like where we used to live on Earth, where we're at now on Earth, totally two different things.
Yeah.
So and it's not for everybody, you know. Some people don't want to do that. Some people want to do their clips and all that. But again, you know, we're all riding bikes. It doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't matter what you ride. It doesn't matter how you ride it. As long as you're riding bikes and doing what you personally want to do, and you got some friends to clap for you every now and then, you know, that's what it comes down to. You know, so if you do something rad, you get some high fives, and you know, you guys can have good times and live in the moment, and you know, live outside your box as much as possible. So uh, that's that's pretty sick that you've been able to kind of transition back to that mentality, like kind of what brought your, I guess, your roots. It would be at that point, you know, you went back to roots instead of going, this is garbage, you know, I'm not really going to take this well, and being upset and being mad at COVID-19 and all this. You could have taken all kinds of avenues, but I think you chose the right one mentally to go down, because that's what we're, you know, every one of us is in it for. When it comes deep down to it, it's because of the fun, the camaraderie, and you know, just, you know, goofing off, and you can goof off all you want, or you can be as serious as you need to be to pull that trick or jump the gap, or you know, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that's pretty rad that your view is went back to your roots. So I'm stoked for you on that. Now you said there's only 9 riders, both men and women, right?
Yep, 9 men, 9 women.
In the Olympics in total, not just there's not 9 Americans and men and women at all.
No.
So could you kind of explain? So I would imagine that's still the same, but could you kind of explain how that works, and how many different countries, and you know, what the deal is behind that a little bit?
So we got, I think, word that they're probably going to reopen qualifying for next year, since it got pushed back. But when they first shut it down, obviously Japan gets a spot for both men and women. So then there's only 8 spots up for grabs. The country with the highest points. So for women, when they shut it down, it was USA, and for men, it was Australia. So each of us gets 2 spots. And then, what is it? Ranking 2 through 5, all get a spot, country-wise. So it goes
Okay.
off it goes off of UCI points that your country gets throughout, you know, feasts and nationals and continentals and worlds and all the crazy contests that go around.
Yeah, so there's one governing body, which is the UCI, and then what do they have? 4 contests, through 4 major contests throughout the year, and then they've got some sub series that you can qualify for.
Yeah.
And then they do like a total points thing. Whoever's got the most points is number 1 qualifier, and so on at the end of the year.
Yeah. So basically 9 spots. There's 9 spots open. 8 countries are going. Japan automatically gets a spot, and then from there it just fills out from how well, you know, your riders did from that country. So.
I see. So it really could be any. It's up to the talent to decide whose country actually gets in the Olympics.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the country can't say, here, these 2 people are going. They have to go out and show that they're worthy of going, and then actually earn a spot. Okay. No, I think that's pretty cool. I thought it was kind of done in a different way. So that's pretty cool. It sucks there's only 9 spots, but I'm sure this is the inaugural opening for it, for freestyle BMX, and I think freestyle skateboarding as well.
Yep.
The first ever in the Olympics for both of them. So that's pretty sick. Yeah, so, you know, a year goes by pretty quickly, especially when you're my age, so I wouldn't even sweat it.
Nah, when you're having fun, time flies.
Maybe I'll be able to, because there was no way I was going to have enough money to having a kid and all that stuff here this past year. It really ruined everything bank account wise. So everything else is awesome, but like, yeah, it was expensive moving into a new place and blah, blah, blah. But it's nice. You saw the house. We're doing pretty well. But now maybe I can actually save up for a plane ticket, go over there and hang out with your dad and eat some sushi or whatever they do over there.
Yeah. I guess I think I get to see my family, you know, once or twice while I'm there. They'll just be roaming around Tokyo, roaming around Japan, figuring out what to do until, you know, my contest. So.
Yeah, I'll just be, if I can make it, I can just hang out with their dad and just say, put it on his tab the whole time I'm there.
Yeah, make him pay for everything.
He would love that.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I think we're about to. I think we're going for about 40 minutes. I think we covered most of the stuff that I kind of wanted to go through, and I don't want to drag this out for 2.5 hours and get in depth. I think that I just kind of want to catch up with you and see, you know, where you're at, kind of your headspace was at right now with all the stuff going on. And it sounds like, which is a given, that you're going to have some complications canceling Olympics. You know, that's, you know, unheard of. So again, just another little hurdle for you to jump over. It's just how big you make it mentally is the issue, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to bring Nate here in just a second. What do you have planned? Do you have any plans for traveling or anything at this point in time? Anything?
Right now, nothing's really on the calendar. We might still have one World Cup or two World Cups, but you know, they haven't been planned. We haven't been told anything. So I might just be hanging out in North Carolina for a bit, and yeah, that's about it.
Fair enough. All right, I'm going to bring Nate Hecky in here. He's been watching the Facebook feed, and we'll see what Nate's got. Let's bring him in here. Hit the admit button. Let's see if he pops in. I see something going on. There it is. All right, I think Nate is muted. You gotta hit your own.
I'm back. I'm here.
There we go. What's up, Nate? How's
Hey,
how's
up,
it going
guys?
outside there? Looks like it's nice out.
It's beautiful out here tonight.
Nate's actually on my back porch. So how was the Facebook feed? Any questions from the peanut gallery out there at all for Hannah?
We got a bunch of highs. Angie Martin told you guys both hi first.
Oh, nice. Hi, Angie.
Obviously, hey, Angie.
Jordan said what's up to the guys. Old Ding Ding.
Dang. What's up, Dang?
What's up, mate?
Brent, I see Brent joined. He was watching. It's always good.
Yeah.
Chuck Nagy gave a shout out to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chuck does Heavy Pedals, that zine that just came out. You have an interview in there, Hannah, actually.
Yeah, I did talk to him.
Yep, I got a copy of that at my house here. Did you get a copy yet?
Not yet. Hopefully we can snag one soon.
I
read it on the photos you sent me, though.
Oh yeah. He sent me, or he was here Saturday. We did a thing at the skate park. So him and a couple dudes from Toledo came up, and he left a couple copies for me. So maybe I'll zap one down to you.
Much appreciate that.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's actually the only magazine BMX. It's actually being printed right now, which is awfully wild. So I was in the first one. This one's like full color. It's really well done. It's pretty sick. I think you're gonna be impressed with it.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, cheers to Chuck, the only guy on the planet printing a BMX magazine right now. Bang.
And he also shared the stream, so shout out to him for that.
Shout out.
Jordan Bowen said good times when you were talking about the old kitchen sessions.
Always. They were always good times. So I miss those times. I miss those riders and the vibes, and yeah.
Bill commented. He said he told you need to smile, Hanny. He said, "Hey, smile, kiddo."
Nitschke?
No, Bill Banasewicz.
Oh, Bill Banasewicz.
I'm always smiling.
He also said nice headphones.
Thank you. I just got them out of my closet.
Janice gave a shout out to you guys.
Who?
Janice Salyers.
Oh, guy. Hi, Glenn's mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I heard somebody down in Indy was riding a park. I can't remember who said this. It might have been Cole Grove, but yeah, he said he was riding. Somebody came up, some older guy, and it ended up being Glenn's dad. That just kind of went down to Major Taylor down there, was watching kids ride. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're great people.
Yes, they are.
Oh yeah, and Chuck said Rick's got that railroad money when you were talking about him paying for your good times.
It must be pretty decent. I mean, come on, Dad.
That's funny. Angie said DJ misses you guys.
Oh, we miss DJ too.
Yeah, I miss DJ a lot.
You know that you can drive him down here to Fort Wayne and drop him off. I will take care of that kid.
and you guys can drive down to North Carolina and come hang out.
Yeah. Was that some kind of dance you just did?
Yeah, my arms are so sore. I've been shooting basketball, playing basketball by myself all day.
Nice.
Shirty Sweeney Miller said hi, Hannah.
Hello.
Chuck said he's going to send you one of the zines there, Hannah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so, and that was the last oh, wait. Angie Martin said her car's broke. Timing chain broke on the car, so she's stuck for a minute.
Damn it. Well, crap. Well, hopefully that gets taken care of here soon. That's no fun, not having a vehicle.
Yeah, timing chain's never a good thing.
No, that's expensive too. It sounds expensive. I know it's expensive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get that taken care of. I don't know if we got anything else. Hannah, you got anything else you'd like to say before we pop this thing into last year or this year or whatever year it is?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Cool. Nate, thanks for moderating back there on the backside.
Rock on, guys. It was fun.
Everybody keep riding your bikes out there, and try to stay away from the weird stuff. Keep your heads in the right place, and do what you love doing. Try to do that as much as possible, and be around the ones that you love. With that, peace. Riders gotta ride.
Peace. And we're not live.
Okay, we're off Facebook now.
Yep. Says recording still, but not live.
Yeah, it's still recording. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good interview.